can. Yeah. So it's 4 o'clock, we're going to start, and I'm going to share the agenda just for us to organize things here and know what we're doing here. So let me share the agenda here. And I made some updates also in the page. So, okay, so our agenda for today, we have always we have something to say in the beginning. And also discuss, we're going to wait a little bit for those questions because I sent 2 emails to Shannon and she didn't give me the feedback of the personnel for the immigration. And I didn't want to push too much because she had problems with her kids and it's not time to ask people too much about the situation. So I'm going to wait for that. So we're going to start with the spotlight, if you guys don't mind. And I create a little video. And the video has 15 minutes. So please don't sleep, just follow. So then you can give me your input about what is there about Great Falls, okay? So I'm gonna start with the video now. Are you guys able to see this? Yeah, so let's see the sound there. I'm gonna start. My name is Katia Arpon-Marandino, and I am the instructor for the Career and College Readiness Center for Immigrants in Great Falls, and member of the ESL leadership team for the adult education in the state of Montana. The purpose of this presentation is to inform and share the framework and best practices of the ESL program in Great Falls. In Great Falls, we work as a team, so I invited Tammy Hickey, our coordinator, and Veronica Griffin, that's also partnered with me when working with the pathway to employment. Let's start with Tammy Hickey, who will introduce the CCRC, which CCRCI is a branch of.
Welcome. My name is Tammy Hickey, and together with Mr. Drew Euchre, we oversee the Career and College Readiness Center. This program operates under the Great Falls Public School System and is located at Great Falls College, MSU. We provide individuals with options to change their future and connect education to their goals as they embark on their path to high school equivalency diploma, path to higher education, path to citizenship, and path to employment. The CCRCI is a branch of our program that provides multiple options for our immigrant population to reach their goals.
The Career and College Readiness Center for Immigrants is a program designed to serve all types of immigrant visas, permanent residents, and naturalized citizens.
Hello. My name is Veronica Griffith, and I'm the Community Resource Liaison who supports all career and college readiness students in their workforce goals. Working with Ms. Katia and the CCRCI students, my primary role is to provide them with a connection to community resources such as childcare, community service organizations, volunteer opportunities, job assistance, resume building, interview skills, job placement, and so much more. We work closely with our community partners and students as they work toward their pathway goals.
Research shows that there are 4 fundamental areas of developing an ESL program: program planning, curriculum development, students recruitment, and program evaluation. And the CCRCI has its foundation based on these 4 fundamental areas. The CCRCI has evolved since 2004 with different administrations and the same instructor, Katia Arpon-Marandino. First as an English as a second language, then English for speakers of other languages, adult education for immigrants, and recently Career and College Readiness Center. The transformations had only the purpose to meet the legislation and needs of students. In order to start planning, we need to answer the question, who is the target market? We need to know our community and students' background. Where are the immigrants in our area, business, agencies, etc.? Where do they come from? What language do the ESL speak? Is it a dominant language? What are the ESL immigration status? What are English language learners' proficiency levels? What professional development is needed for our staff to support ESLs? Now it's time to promote your program and recruit students. In order to achieve these goals, creating a brochure, business cards, a website advertising your school in the languages of a few of the most popular groups of immigrants in your area. Then make contact with organizations which serve our communities, such as churches, social clubs, K-12, business partners, communication systems, and associations. The Great Falls Public Schools has a committee, ELL committee, and Ms. Katia Pomorandino is part of this committee since this beginning. It helps a lot to make the parents of the K-12 that are her students to understand the educational system in the district. This is the CCRCI brochure for 21-22 school year. And here you find all the information needed for the student next step, contacts, goals, schedule, phone numbers, and is distributed all over the community, agencies, churches, schools, K-12 schools, employers, and posted on websites. Now that you know your community, your prospective students, and the students know the next step, it's time to register those students. And because of the pandemic, the CCRCI created a very easy way of registration. The students go to the website, they can use their phone or their computers or their tablets, and they have a QR code also, or download a file of the intake, and it's all done also with the support of the instructor, Ms. Katia Pomorandino, during the process of orientation. So it's easy, it's simple, and has been working very well. But we cannot forget to create a welcoming environment. And don't forget the families. How do we do that? We have to build a community, offer a variety of extracurricular activities, birthday parties, holidays events, summer camps, field trips, interviews, and most of them are performed online because of the pandemic, as I said. So after the orientation, the instructor know exactly what will be the next step for that student. And they know also that the students have their personal schedule. They have kids, they have family, and flexibility is important. So here now we have the typical week and schedule for a student, an ESL student. So this is 2001-2022, and we have their different classes: the literacy, civics, and technology for immigrants, the workforce training for immigrants, the math and technology for immigrants, digital literacy for immigrants, naturalization preparation for immigrants, the preparation for CNAs, Certified Nursing Assistant, that now is done in a different way, the connections for immigrants, and also to support the projects and all activities prepared for the classes. We have platforms like the Burlington English, Essential Education, Study.com, and the CCRCI websites that there is one page dedicated to the students for their development. Now that you have your students in class, how to keep these students coming back? So the CCRCI believes that the effective ESL teaching methods are responsible for that. So ESL Classroom combines all 4 teaching methods for all-rounded content-based learning experience. When developing the curriculum, it is crucial to recognize these various methods and ensure that they are effectively integrated into instruction. The first one, cooperative learning activities. Students work in small groups, sharing experience while making connections between content and language. For example, the project basic learning that we use in our classes. The whole language activities. Students use all aspects of language within one activity: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. The language experience approach. Students use language experience inside and outside the classroom when we have community connections, for example. Interdisciplinary learning. Students combine various studies branches for language practice, developing critical thinking skills in different academic contexts. There are other aspects we need to remember so the students feel comfortable in your classrooms. They learn best when they are involved in identifying what works best for them. For example, how they are integrated into the class and what types of support are provided. They are made aware of available resources and given the choice of material, for example, a range of books to choose from. They are given realistic expectations. They are acknowledged for their continued growth by teachers and peers. They are in an environment where risk-taking is valued and where incremental growth is valued as highly as the attainment of goals. They experience a sense of self-confidence within their new peer group and compete with day-to-day communication. They have opportunities to interact both with English-speaking peers and those with a shared first language. They understand the new culture clearly and show respect for its values while maintaining and valuing their own culture. They are both learners and teachers, individuals and group members. Now I would like to talk a little bit about success experiences at CCRCI program. The contextualization for career pathway, the CCRCI connections, a special class, naturalization preparation, students empowerment, technology and digital literacy, project basic learning, and the CCRCI students website. Contextualization, creating career infused. All experiences and knowledge acquired are integrated and related to the workplace with the intent of success. Here is one example of success with the contextualization approach. Valerio Gama, an employee of Terracom and a student of CCRCI, obtained his certification of qualification with transportation technician and concrete building technician. The Korean College Readiness Center for Immigrants Connections class is a place where former students are guests to share their successes and experience with current students. Those classes not only help to build self-esteem on students who are trying to adjust themselves and their families into a new country environment, but also to identify possibilities available in our community and build students' understanding of the working world.
So while I was waiting the green card, my work permit, I couldn't work and I couldn't travel. So Katja encouraged me to do some volunteer work, which I did. When I got my work permit, I started sending out my resume, but I wouldn't hear back from anyone, although I had my degree in Brazil. So what I did was to work on some unpaid internships to get some referrals to tailor my resume to be more attractive to employers, because they wanted to know if I was reliable and if other people knew what I was able to do at work.
Naturalization classes at CCRCI in Great Falls are classes to prepare students who met the requirements to become American citizens. It not only helps with the civic questions, which includes history and government knowledge of the United States, but also the vocabulary preparation for the Form N400, simulation of interview, and individual support, which includes letters of support to the immigration and volunteering translating documents from the original language. Student empowerment is where students gain the authority and agency to make decisions on their own and implement their changes in school. Student empowerment generally includes learning, teaching, and leadership in the classroom. Empowerment happens through students' authorization and action upon gaining a sense of power. Teacher and student collaboration. By getting students to collaborate with you, they are starting to work on their own, but also getting the concept reinforced. Teacher asks for the students' involvement and feedback. Students throw out the ideas while the teacher links them together. Setting a forum for students to provide constructive and timely feedback, criticism, or praise through medium like a group, Google Doc, blog, etc., helps you improve your teaching. It also helps students emphasize that learning is about partnership and working together. Give students decision-making power in an era of curriculum. Giving students the power to choose creates a sense of ownership over their learning. Example, choose a book. Teacher learning from students. Don't be scared to let your students teach you a thing or two about technology, for example. Technology is a very powerful tool used by CCRCI during the whole process. It improves collaboration, incorporates different learning styles, connects you with your students, helps prepare students for the digital future, and helps students learn at their own pace. There are a variety of activities that are used in classes. Collaborative digital presentations, engaging students with digital video production, free or low-cost technology tools, additional resources on the web, games, etc. Project-based learning is a teaching method in which students gain knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time to investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex question, problem, or challenge. And here are some examples of project-based learning at CCRCI classes. Across the US, what am I good at? Volunteerism project, MCIS projects, recipe projects, holiday projects, biography projects, and book projects. There are several different aspects that are essential to any kind of project being successful and effective. But one of the most important elements of a thriving workplace is team bonding. Teamwork ensures that resources are well managed and less time is needed to complete a project. Good teamwork can contribute to economizing more successful project outcomes. It also adds to the quality and individuality of projects. I would like to thank all members of the CCRC team, our administrator, Mr. Drew Yuka, our coordinator, Tammy Hickey, the Montana Adult Education Director, Ms. Katie Madison, and my ESL leadership group in Montana for all the encouragement and support. Okay, so this is what I have from Great Falls. I hope you didn't sleep during the presentation, so you can ask me questions afterward. We're gonna go to Cindy, and then we can go to the resources, and afterwards we open for questions, or we can list those questions afterwards because we are recording this meeting. So Diana, maybe, because when I created that presentation, I thought about Diana. So I tried to bring the research base, also what base to create a program. That's her goal, to create a program in Butte. So that's the idea. So I inserted in that presentation also some research base that can help her to put things together. Okay. Okay, Cindy, now it's you.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow up on that one, but I will just talk about my program. So here we're at FECC in Kalispell, and we offer 4 programs. We have our HiSET program, which has the regular 5-week course, and then we have a HiSET boot camp, which is for more accelerated students, and it gets them their HiSET diploma in 2 weeks. And then we also have HiSET in Spanish, which is a more one-on-one situation, because we don't have a lot of those students, but sometimes we get second language learners who come here with their diplomas but want or need to get it for work or for studying. So I usually take that on a need basis. And then we have our ASVAB program, which I started this past fall, and I've had 4 students, and they've all passed their ASVAB, and one is shipping out in January, which is really exciting because he got the job that he wanted. Because he wanted to get out of Montana. So we have that going. And then of course our ESL program. So our ESL program is a little different because we have the in-person class, which meets twice a week for 2.5 hours. And I have about 10 students there. And then I also have my online ESL class that meets 3 times a week for an hour each time. And I have 4 students in that class. And recently, I feel like I've seen a lot of ESL students from Colombia. I don't know if you guys are also seeing that in your programs, but I would say half of my students are from Colombia and the rest are kind of scattered. But for my in-person class, I guess just for Diana, a way that I differentiate, I use some of my really higher level students to kind of take over the class sometimes while I help the lower level students, especially ones that probably don't need to be here because their English is good enough for them to integrate into the community, but they're here because they've been a part of the program for so long. So I let them kind of run the class or do readings or ask questions to other students while I sit with the lower level students. Because right now I have 2 lower level students, one from Vietnam who got here in June, and then I have one from Colombia who got here 2 months ago. So it's been a struggle, but we're working with it. And none of our paperwork is online like Katya's. All of our paperwork is hard copies because it gives us kind of a chance to go over it, especially with our ESL students on paper. And then I also have an 82-year-old ESL student who isn't, very tech savvy. So I just like to offer that to everybody. And then as far as recruitment, because I know we talked about this in our last meeting, because we're with the college, we do get the benefit of utilizing social media through them. So we have a Facebook page through the college and then an Instagram page. So we can submit social media requests to them and they post announcements for us for our HiSET, for our ESL classes, but we don't have a personal page just for adult education or ESL. So we just go through the college, which is really nice. And then we can also have posts in our weekly newsletters here at the school. So that's always nice. And then just word of mouth also is a huge thing for us. And I've also gone to the larger Mexican restaurant here and spoken to the workers there. And I would love to set up something where I came to the restaurant for, 2 or 3 times a week during their lunch hour, because they have this kind of weird gap in between their service, and just do an English class there. So that might be a possibility. And then one of my students, she's from Vietnam, but her family owns a restaurant also. So just knowing people and getting the word out is really important for us. We don't do any brochures or anything like that because the college usually helps us out with all of that. And we did reach out to the local newspapers here, and we did have them interview us over the summer, and that also gave us a lot of attention. So we got some students out of that, and I think that's really important to utilize all of the free resources that you can in your community. I think that's important. And yeah, I think that's it. That's our program.
It's very nice.
Mhm.
And I just want to put something there because sometimes I try to record that because I knew Diana was not going to be here, but when you talk to people, it's different because you can interject with other things and interact with and think, bring some more ideas. When you said about the orientation, sometimes my hair is like this because I have also to teach them the technology when they are new students. I
Yeah.
didn't say that, but I partner my orientation with students, former students, or students that speak the same language and
Mhm.
help me during the orientation
Yeah.
to adapt that new student. So this is something that I missed in that presentation. I think it's very important because
Yeah.
online, you miss that closeness.
Mhm.
And I think it is something that I miss now, but it's working well because
Yeah.
they learn technology and it's going to be for their future also.
Mhm.
So this is one piece that I missed there, and I would like to say because well, how can the person comes from without speaking any language? And I use students to help me. So the
Yeah.
empowerment of students, I forgot that area that I recruit students to help me. So help me, they are my assistants too.
Yeah,
So
they're like the best free resource.
okay, so thank you so much, Cindy.
Mhm.
And
You're
I think
welcome.
we can start now with our resources. And Catherine, if you want to give start with the resource, and then I'm going to try to do the Shannon's one because she sent me the site and I went there. I worked with that not recently, but I will tell you what I did with that resource sometimes in the past. Okay, thank you.
All right. So I have a paid resource that I use quite often that I considered sharing, but I decided instead to share this resource because it's kind of a one-stop shop for all things adult education and ESL especially. So what I like about this resource is it's Crowded Ed Learning, and I'm in what's called their skill directory. And this is kind of the main landing page to find and really branch out and use other resources. So this academic section has great links to reading, math, language, writing, science, and social studies materials, which is wonderful for students who are studying for the HiSET. So for example, if I were to go into the social studies, it'll open up this document here that then allows you to access links and different resources from here. So it'll link you to Khan Academy, USCIS, different crash course videos. And the one thing I'll say about this is sometimes I find that I really do need to click on the link and make sure I am finding things that are appropriate for the level of English that I'm teaching, because some of these are at a kind of more academic level. But then you have just kind of some basic vocabulary as well. All of these resources are free, which is great. So for example, if you are practicing the naturalization test with someone, you can go right to the link and see everything that you need right here. Some other things that I like on here, I'm going to go back to kind of this main landing page, is they do kind of a nice variety of, it's not just, you know, straightforward reading. They have quizzes and games, different elements of language like vocabulary. Moving on down this skill directory, I guess I'll just click into another one so you can see. I'll click the language and writing one. So they have some, you know, Khan and BBC, but then they have some others as well. Some that will take you to worksheets, some that will take you to places where students can make accounts to practice at home. More vocabulary here. This vocabulary from Appalachian State, I don't know if it's current, they're redoing their website, so this one might not be available right now. But writing prompts, pro and con, News ELA, which is great for reading and comprehension, and then writing prompts for ELL and literacy students. So this is great if you're just trying to generate some topic ideas for the high set or college preparation essays. Continuing down the page in the skill directory, there's also this workplace competencies, which is really nice. So communication in the workplace, things like essential skills and other career pathways. So if I click on the essential skills here, you can see that there's different types of toolkits in here. Curriculum for 21st century skills, free integrated academic and communication skills from Bow Valley College, which is a great ESL resource. And just other, resources that will help teach soft skills, more vocabulary, like these workplace scenario cards, which are kind of interesting. Oh, this one isn't working. Here's one that they made through Quizlet. So you can make your own, but all of them take you to free resources, which is great. Let me show you also here. We are currently teaching a lot of digital literacy classes in our building right now. And I like this digital literacy resource a lot because as you get students that attend every week, eventually, it's kind of nice to have follow a curriculum plan and have some ideas on other ways you can branch out and other skills you can teach beyond, Google or typing or email. So this is nice here. The Google Applied Digital Skills is awesome. I've done their trainings before and all their stuff is online. More vocabulary, more typing and keyboarding practice, and even practice with mouse skills, which is really nice. I wanted to show you the one I thought was kind of cool. Here is this digital literacy training toolkit. And it not only has links to manuals and kind of how-tos, but there's also certificates. So as your students complete each section, you can print them a certificate to show that they've gone through the training. Everything from resume writing online and then other additional resources. What I liked about this is it was pretty basic too. I mean, I've had students come in who've never used a mouse or a keyboard. And so you really can start there with mouse practice. There's other languages available too. It's in Spanish and Vietnamese, which I think is really nice for people who maybe are just starting out with the computer and want to feel comfortable getting the information in their home language first. So here it's just, sliding the mouse around and seeing how it changes as you hover over different things. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then for those of you who do health trainings, we do CNA training and other things in our building as well, CPR for childcare providers. This health literacy has great information here too, and different resources that, kind of cover all topics of health and different levels too, which I like. The reading skills for healthcare workers, I think, is related to the resource that Katya is going to share on behalf of Shannon, including the reading skills for today's adults. So these are nice too, knowing that if you forget about one resource, you'll be able to kind of hit this page as a one-stop shop and link to that information again. So I will put the link in the chat box. But again, for all things adult ed and ESL, I think it's a great stop for lots of different free resources.
Yeah, there is one there in the digital literacy that you presented that I use a lot in my class, the North Star.
Mhm.
That's, they have all the standards connected, so it's perfect. And they have also the certification, so the student can take the class and then they have the certification, and they feel good about it. Like you said, you give them the certification and say, oh, I'm going to go to the next level, so it gives them like encouragement to keep going. So that's a great site there. And it's good because you have a selection of lots of sites, like I did in my website, and you have even better than this crowded learning, because you have all there and very organized. Yes, very nice. My students are used to my website, but because they go there all the time. But I can tell you, it's a house that needs to be organized in the future. But I work by myself, it's free, and I have to do everything. So, but there are lots of things there. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna share with you what Shannon sent. And what I did, I posted in the website, our website, so make it easier for us to go there. I'm going to show you how I did this here. Let me share the website here, just a moment. Okay, so I have so many things open here. Okay, share the screen. I don't see my, let me close some stuff in the agenda. Yeah, that's here. Okay, so this is the agenda, and I posted her website in resources. I created a button for today at my lunchtime, because I want to have that available for you guys if you want to then go there and use it. And so it's English skills for today's adults. That's the resource that Shannon sent to us this lunchtime, and I put in this website. So I'm going to tell you what I did, because I worked with this website some time ago. And I remember, and I went here and I found, because one text here that talks about, I create a project based on voter registration. Look at the text, the reading text, I use it. And my students at that time, they went there and they did a comparison between Montana and Minnesota, how to register to vote. So based on this reading text, then they did that project. It was last year, we worked with it. But this website is interesting, and if you go there, because when you open the website, the reading text, you have their pre-questions. So you have the pre-questions that you work with the students. And you also have the post questions. And what I think is very valuable in this website is these here. The first reading, the second reading, the third reading, and the students read along with that.
Level 7.0, Minnesota voter registration. Read out loud along with me. You must be on the official list of voters before you can vote. This is called being registered. You need to register to vote if you just became eligible to vote, moved, changed your name, or have not
So
voted
what is
in the last.
interesting here is that you can make contests with students, because here I'm going to go there and tell you what they tell you to do, but you can be creative and using the resource that they offer you. Okay, let me go to the home here and go to resources here. And here it tells you what to do, okay? And they start up, when you read here, they help you to understand how to use those 3 reading, first time, second time, third time, and they give you all the steps you should use to see which level the student is in their reading level. But there is one negative thing in this site that now finally they put this there. I don't know if you can read this. This site's usable, however, it is still under construction. So some of the stores, they have some errors. And, we have to be attentive when you give to beginners, because the other ones you can tell them, okay, find the mistake there. And it's good because they learn from the mistakes of the website, no problem. But there are some also situations that you have to be careful not to give to the students to do a homework. So it's good if you integrate this website with some projects you are doing. That's my opinion, you know, and I'm putting here what I would say about this website. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to look at this website and if you have any input to give here, because I'm doing something that is from Shannon, but I'll be open to listen to you guys if you had the opportunity to be working with this website. Have you?
I
No?
have worked with it before.
Or have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have anything that you like to say that you found that was interesting, or?
I've found it helpful for certain students, but I wouldn't use it for all students
Okay.
because some of it's just too easy.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Where my advanced students, I probably wouldn't use it with.
Uh-huh.
But for my students that are struggling readers or my IEP students, I might use it with.
Mhm. I see. And I don't like to use any website if it's not inside of my project, because it helps for the students to connect what are they doing with. If I tell you that go to this website and read that and do that and answer that, I don't do that. Everything is connected. When I was talking about civics and I saw that text and I brought other texts too. Oh, there is one thing that's interesting there. Let me see if I can show you here quickly before we move on. Okay, let me see here in the top. The resources here. Let's see. Source. Okay. They have graphs for the words per minute. It's very interesting, those graphs here. And I like this because you see how well that students read in the level of that student. So it's good because you can use as a pre-assessment for their reading, or to put them in some classes if you want to kind of select by groups your class by the level that they are. So it's an interesting thing also. Okay. I think that's what we had, but we have to talk about, and I really need to talk about this immigration conversation we're going to have with the personnel. You know, I presented that immigration PowerPoint. You saw that there is a valuable content about immigration, gives you information. But what I would like to have from that person is to make like an overview of what they have. How do they see the teachers working with the immigration to help those students to give the next step? That's my idea, to ask that person that's coming. And I saw her presentation before, like 7 years ago, when Shannon I was the leadership with Ellen from Bozeman. Ellen now is in K-12, but I was with the leadership with her. And that lady, Jody, she came, she talked about the process of immigration, everything. At the time they were changing some situations in Helena, so she told that too. But what I'd like her to come to talk about is that connection. How can schools and the teachers help those students to make them understand the whole process? There are questions some students ask us, like Cindy asked about that, if there was anything connected with translation or different language. And I sent to you an answer, and maybe she has something extra to go deeper on that. Like the questions I asked, I know that when you adopt some person, if they get married, they lose the possibility of that certificate of citizenship. Or if they are more than 18 years old when they are adopted. But it's a question mark in terms of step parents. For example, the father married, the guy married a woman and she had kids, and he's a stepfather. There is a thing there that says that they cannot get the 600 form. The six, do you guys understand the difference between this, the N600 and N400? The N400 is the one that they do the citizenship test.
Okay.
Go there and they do the test, the interview. The N400, if they are adopted by an American who has one of the parents is an American citizen or became citizen because of naturalization, they can apply for a certificate of citizenship, and the form is different. It's N600. And it's much more expensive, but they don't have to go through the process of that whole process. They just go there, they present the documents, they prove that they are adopted by an American citizen, and they just get the citizenship, and it's variable, the value is the same. They can get passport, everything. So it's something that I'd like to clarify with her. This is another thing. And another thing is refugees, about refugees and asylum, because Helena is gonna get some, probably next year, people from Afghanistan. They are just putting on news already. So sooner we're gonna have in our cities. Some students like Missoula has, but Missoula works with, they work with an agency. And I don't think Missoula works, she's not here now, but she could tell us, I think she had to go, I don't know. But Missoula has agencies that the teachers sometimes go there, the tutors goes there to talk to those students. So it's not a connection inside of the program like we do, like Kalispell does, and Great Falls does, and Butte wants to do. So it's something that, and I don't know, how do you see that immigration coming here and asking questions? Because if we don't do that, in my opinion, decide that in January, we only have January, February, March, and April before our conference in May. And you have to decide the next time, what is the topic we're going to discuss in the time of the conference? Have you guys thought about it? What topic are we going to talk about? I thought about immigration. Or show the website also, explain what we're doing, because last year, Cindy, do you remember?
Yeah, we did the website.
Completely different now. So we can revive that website, talk about it, and then I don't know if you should choose a theme like immigration, go through that presentation, make people aware what the rules of immigration, because it's going to help people to open mind in terms of that, asylum, refugee, visas, and like I showed you guys, and amplify a little bit or shrink something.
Yeah, I think that would be good because I feel like a lot of people don't know like the difference between a refugee and like seeking asylum and the whole visa process. Like, even I'm still learning. Like I had one student from Colombia who came with her mom and she just got married. And so, yeah, that's her stepdad now, but now she's trying to go to college, but it's a whole process and I don't know it. So I think it would be good to
clarify those.
Yeah, to clarify and just educate people on that.
And that's a student that you have, if you can formulate that question, because maybe Shannon will not be able to bring the lady, but maybe send her questions and she sent the questions, the answers, and maybe helps us to put things together for our presentation. And then each one of you tell, what do you do with citizenship in your program? Also, so it's an idea, it's opened, because we have to be as a group. Unfortunately, today we don't have now 3 of our members, but I'm glad you guys are here. And the next step, I think it was, I have to understand, December at this time is terrible. People want to go to Christmas, is almost next week, and I completely understand that. That's why I'm recording. But we have to realize that we have just those 4 meetings, and you have to think about it. So I will ask you guys, if you can think about that. So next class, the next meeting, we're gonna start with the discussion of the questions for the immigration. I'm gonna try to see if I can talk to Shannon to give us some feedback about it. And also, what do you suggest for next meeting besides the questions for the immigration? Is there any, you have also to answer questions from people from the spotlights. We have to see if Diana has any question to ask after
Yeah.
watching those videos and these presentations. Is there something that you guys think about that could be for us for the next meeting or next step? If you think about, send me an email. I'm always connected with the emails, and I don't have your cell phones. I can give you my cell phone. I think I posted for you guys once on an email. I think I'm gonna ask the cell phone because sometimes for me, it's easier text message. I just got 3 text messages from students, and I'm gonna answer them after that, asking help for some stuff. I have there 3 messages. So, and one saying, thank you for, because I sent her a happy birthday today, one of the Chinese students. So I connect a lot with text message in this phone. And if you have anything, text message goes much faster for me. If you want to text me something, emails I read in the morning and I read in the evening. I read lunchtime today because Shannon was with that situation, and I just want to make sure we had something from her. Okay. Yeah. So
I
what
did
do you
have
think?
a question for you, and I almost like emailed you earlier, but I didn't. It's about the Best Plus.
Okay.
And it was my first time post-testing today. And I know when I pre-tested, some of my students had like they were like level 8 and it said exit NRS, so I had to give them the best lit. But when they post-test and it says exit NRS because they reached a high level, what do you do in that situation?
During this year, you don't do anything. They keep in the class. Next year, you have to have the best literacy.
So for example, one student was level 5 pre-test and he just post-tested, he's level, I think 8, and it says exit NRS. It's fine. He doesn't get the best lit this year?
No.
Okay.
Because this test is for 1 year. So he was post-test. He's going to finish this year. When you get next year, you're going to give the best literacy. You cannot give him the best plus anymore.
Okay, so that's only for like pre-test scenarios. Okay, all right. Because Jackie's on vacation this week and I didn't want to bother her.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. And if you have any question for me that I can help, and you saw that presentation, I want to leave a legacy for the programs. I'm since 2004, actually I started 2001 volunteering. I had my degrees until we put everything organized. 2004, I'm the same teacher in Great Falls since 2004. And the administrators changed it, but I'm the same. So this what I constructed is along all these years, And what happened when a program changed people, changed instructor, it changed a little bit the situation, the environment. So that's what it is. But anytime you guys need, I'll be more than glad to help.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any question, Carla?
Not at this time. I'm just kind of taking it all in.
Okay. Another thing, I didn't ask anybody to make the report. Cindy's doing the report.
Yeah.
But not the report. Shannon asked me to ask Catherine. But I think you, Carla, always do with Shannon, isn't it? The report?
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah, so if you can send the report, so I post your report. Your report, it's not the report, it's the
meeting notes.
The notes. The notes, that's and Cindy sent me the report, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then I create the agenda for the next time because Diane is not here, like I did this time. And then we come back, new year, new life, we come back to the same thing we are doing. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, if I don't see you guys, I posted, I don't know, I'm gonna put the last thing here if you don't mind. I posted here online a message and Catherine is not gonna see, but I'm glad you guys are still here so you can tell them and they're gonna see on the website the message I posted, and I hope you guys watch this and have a wonderful Christmas and New Year.
Thank you.
just hope you have all these, especially health now, because with this new variant, we have to be prepared. I took my booster and I hope you guys take your booster too. I'm older, I'm 64, but you guys are young, but it's good to have because of this new variant. It's important to have. So I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, New Year. And I see you guys like on Zoom in January. Okay.
You too. Thank you, Katia.
Anytime you want, I'm here to. There is two questions here. I'm sorry I have to go also after New Year. So Catherine sent us a message here. Yeah, there is a message from her here, and she said here on the chat, if you want to copy that website. Yes.
Yeah, I already got that.
Got it? Great. And Carla, send to me your report because
I will.
now it's going to be hard for me because I want to take this Zoom and save the video. Okay. So you guys can go because I have to stay here to close this year. Okay.
I actually did think of a question. Is that video for the center, if we want to view it or anything, is that actually on the site? That Center for Immigrants, the
My site,
CC?
CCICI. Yeah, I can send to you. I can transfer to YouTube and then put in a website because our website is free. I don't pay for the website. So they don't accept a video that was created. I have to transfer to YouTube. It's going to take me a little bit. And then I can put on the website and then it's going to be there.
Yeah, then I can maybe put that in the meeting notes or something.
I will do that for you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not gonna be this weekend because I'm very busy up to maybe Tuesday or next weekend. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you guys can go because I have to close this here.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.